Hey, I'm Micah Mullen. Welcome to another free art lesson. Today we're going to be using Turner acrylic wash to paint on a rock. And painting on a rock really is an interesting thing to do because it can be used in many ways. A lot of times you'll be driving around and see a house that says, welcome to the Mullen family home or whatever, then that might be marked off. It can be used in the garden. It can be used in a variety of different ways outside to add some decorative effects outside your house. So the first thing we want to do is prime the rock, and in this case we prime it with a gesso. Matisse gesso is what I used. I taped it off. I masked it off in an interesting shape earlier. And the most important thing about painting on a rock is the contours and the design of the rock itself. That really needs to be taken advantage of. Like if you look at this rock, you'll notice that there's a chip or an outline created by the rock surface itself. Now in looking at this, I've created a lot of beach scenes and landscape scenes, so forth, and this is kind of giving me the idea that this might create a land mass over here and a water mass and body of water over here. So what I'm going to do is try that using some of the Turner product, and I'll use some composed blue to paint the sea. And because of the irregularities of the surface, you really got to lay it on thick. Okay. Get some water. Most acrylic paints will work for this as well, but the gouache is very good in being a multi-surface type paint that'll adhere to strange surfaces like this. So pour some directly right on the rock. Okay. It can really add some nice effects just because there's so much interesting stuff within rock itself. Bricks, any type of masonry is always a cool thing to work with, I think. Okay. And I'll just quickly get some water ripples or some white effects in there as well. Now we'll go get this big land mass here. I'm going to probably use raw umber, but any earth tone really color would work. When I usually do a longer painting, I'll do it in colored grids, and I'll use multiple earth tones, a lot of greens, a lot of reds. But for purposes of this free art lesson, we'll just probably use a lot of raw umber, maybe some burnt umber. I say these are really for outdoors, but they're fine indoors as well as a stepping stone or whatever. This rock probably weighs about 30 pounds, but it might be difficult to hang on the wall. So it's best in like on the floor or mounted somewhere where it's not going to cause too many problems. Get some more burnt umber on here. The acrylic gouache is such a versatile paint. I mean, rocks, glass, even fabric it adheres to very well. So it's very versatile. I like to use it in conjunction with a lot of standard acrylic paints. I like to use Matisse structural acrylics a lot and then paint over it with the acrylic gouache. Generally I do that on traditional canvas, but on things like rocks and unlikely surfaces I primarily stick to the gouache. Okay. I'll add some black just to outline where the water ends and the land begins. Again, the most important thing is I'm taking advantage of the surface of the rock. The paint is actually the secondary element, really. Can add some grays, maybe make some trees, so forth. So I'm going to fine tune this a lot. I want to make some sand, so forth. But I think you get the impression of how the surface of the rock adds to the actual element of the painting. And my DVD, I did this with metal, where the actual metal is part of the painting. So that's interesting. In this case, it's the actual stone. So it comes out to a pretty cool effect. So I'm Micah Mullen. Look for me at micahmullen.com. More free art lessons, and check out my DVDs. Thanks a lot.